Hey guys, today I want to share a little bit more than halfway update on my Project Pan speedrun, where I am trying to use up as many products as I can by the end of July, and that's because we are moving across the country at the very end of this month, and so I am on a mission to try and finish as many things as I can. I'd really rather use up more than I declutter this time around. In the intro, so many of you said you wanted to see a halfway update, even though this is a very short-term Project Pan. I started it on June 11th. The day I'm filming this is July 10th, so it's been a month. And as I said before, this project cuts off on July 31st. The goal with every single thing is to finish it, so there's nothing in here where I'm trying to just hit pan. I'm trying to move as many things out of my collection as I can in a very short span of time. It's been a lot of fun. In the project, I have makeup, skincare, body care, hair care. I originally started with 26 products. So far, I've used up 7 out of the 26 things, which doesn't sound like a lot since we're more than halfway there. I was hoping to have more things done by now, but I am so close on so many things that I'm confident I'll be able to finish by the end. So much so that I've actually added more things into the project. So I basically just was scanning my collection for anything that looked like I could probably finish it. I just threw it in. I'm not including things that I know I will finish at this point, like our Tree Hut body scrub or even our Tanologist body lotions. Those things, since we both use them, we're just going through them a lot faster, so I'm not worried about finishing those. I'm mostly just including things that I know I'm going to have to put in a little bit of effort to get them done. So let's start with the makeup category. I have finished 4 things, and I actually decided to declutter 1 thing. First up, I finished the NYX Blur Screen SPF 30 primer. This is really sad. I opened this at the beginning of this year. From that time until the time I cut it open and used it to the last drop, I got 20 uses out of this. That being said, I didn't apply this the way I would apply a normal primer. I applied it like I would apply a sunscreen. So I would typically do like 2 fingers worth. That's usually the rule I follow. I would say on average, that's how much I use. If I'm going to be like outside for a long time, I'll definitely do 3 fingers worth. That's how many uses it took me to finish this off. I started the project having used it 6 times, and it took me 14 more times to finish it up. So if you're using this as a face sunscreen, I don't recommend it. If you're using it as a primer, so let's say you applied a face sunscreen already, and then you just wanted to use like a pea-sized amount of this as more of a blurring primer that adds a little bit of extra sun protection, I think that would be a more cost-effective use for it. The next thing I'm working on in the makeup category is the LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation. My oldest foundation, one of my favorites. I am wearing this today mixed with the Makeup Revolution bronzing drops to match my self-tan. But this is where we started, and you'll see I've made it, I would say, about halfway down. I obviously opened this well before 2025, but since that first purple mark there, I've used it 24 times. So that's how many times I've worn foundation in the last month. 24 out of 30 days I've worn this foundation. I am still feeling good about this. I still think I can finish it. This is basically the only base product I've been using, which is not how I typically operate, but I'm just setting my sights on like clearing out as many products as I can. Since I know it's a very short-term project, I'm able to really just commit and focus to one thing for that short burst. The NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Mattifying Powder. Love this powder. This is another example of a NYX product I don't think you get a ton of uses out of. It only took me, I think it was like 34 uses to hit pan on this. Since then, as you see, I've used a lot more. So far, I've gotten 59 uses out of this powder. And I'm, as you can see, on the verge of finishing it. I've been so successful with that one that I've decided to actually add another powder in. Stay tuned to the end to find out what that is. This one I'm not feeling quite as hopeful about, but I'm still going to try. This is the Oma Double Take Highlight Stick. I've used up the contour side already, but this is what I have left of this. You'll see in the progress clips, I have maybe used up a quarter of what I need to from where I started. I used it 18 times since the start of this Project Pan to get to this level. I have a long ways to go. I'm going to have to really step it up and use this a lot more. I've mainly just been using it on the tops of my cheekbones. That's where I have it today. I'll usually just pick it up on my finger and tap it on. I've only worn it like under my foundation a couple of times. That's a good way to get more use out of it, almost using it as like a glowy primer. It's just so emollient. I don't always want to do that, but like I could put some on my shoulders today. I guess I will, actually. You know what? Let's just throw some on. See how that looks. Oh yeah, that's a really good way to use it quickly. So I'll probably have to do that. Since it's getting really hot out, I think I'll be wearing a lot more tops where I can easily do that. So I still think I can finish it. I still think I can. I'm not going to give up hope. Another thing I'm making really steady progress on is the e.l.f. No Budge Shadow Stick in Rose Gold. I've been wearing this as my eyeshadow base basically every day, and it pretty much goes with everything, so it's been perfect. I would say, actually, looking at my progress, I've made it almost halfway from where we started. I have used it 19 times since the start of this project. That's how many uses it took to get to this point from where we started. So I'm definitely on track to finish this. Something I decided to declutter, used it 3 times, and I think I just decided this is getting too dried out. Actually, some of it fell into my eye and kind of scratched my eye a little bit. I just had like a really red bloodshot area on like this side of my eye for a couple days, on like the white of my eye. So I decided after that I wasn't going to use it again because I had a very strong feeling it was this that did that. Because I was wearing it that day, I had a lot of it on, and it was like flaking off of my eyes. So yeah, I guess I could get a stronger like glitter glue, but I think this has just reached the end. That's going in the trash. I really just try not to mess with my eyes. Like if something seems off in any way that goes on my eyes, I'm just like, oh, I'm done. Bye. Okay, I'm getting so close on my Cokie Nude lip liner. This is all I have left, and I've used it 14 times since the start of this project. I used it a few times as a bronzer, basically, because it is a great color for that, but I've figured out I just like this formula better on the lips. I think it's a little bit too stiff, too waterproof to work well going on the cheeks. I feel like I end up just, I don't know, just like it sets really quickly on the face, so I think I just prefer it on the lips. But I am wearing this on my lips today, and absolutely love it. I think I can easily finish this up by the end. My next empty is the AOA Studio lip liner in satin. This was so easy to finish. I used it up as a blush. I ended up using it 15 times since the start of the project in order to finish it, and I was mainly using it on the cheeks. That is the fastest way to use up a lip liner because you just, obviously, it's a very small stick. So it's kind of cheating to use up lip liners that way, in a way, but I don't think so because you're still getting all the use out of it. You're not really wasting any product. It's just, if it's a lip liner you don't necessarily love, if it's not my all-time favorite lip liner on my lips, then I'm happy to just use it up quickly on my cheeks because I tend to like more colors on my cheeks than I do on my lips. So, not that I didn't like this color on my lips. I thought it was actually really pretty. It's like a just very light peachy color. Like, I can't really swatch anything, but yeah, you can see. It's just like a nice soft peachy shade. So that's another thing done. Okay, I'm working on and making really good progress on the e.l.f. lip stain in Coral Cutie. So I did remove the stopper on this, and I was going to put the stopper back in, but I ended up cracking the top of the tube, so it's fine. I just am going to leave it unstopped, but it's actually really nice. I've been leaving this standing upright, and it could have something to do with how hot it's been, but it's all settled to the bottom, and I can actually see where it's settled in the little window, finally. So it has basically settled to right below the top of that small window, and I'm not sure exactly how deep this goes, but I've been mainly using this as a blush or a cheek tint, and it's so pretty that way. That is what I'm wearing as my blush today. I have used it now 13 times since the start of this Project Pan, and I don't really know where I started, so it's kind of hard to say. I also had 2 Kopari lip glossies in this project, Birthday Suit and Sunset Kiss. I did finish up Sunset Kiss. I'm not cutting this open. I don't want to deal with the mess, so I'm just going to call it done now that I can't squeeze any more out. Nice milky peachy tint to it. I don't know if they sell this shade anymore. I've had this for forever, like probably 4 years almost. So it was definitely time to get it done. But I mainly ended up using this at night as my nighttime lip treatment before bed, even though it has a tint to it. I don't mind. It's like so subtle that it's not gonna like get all over my pillow or anything. Where you see this purple mark here, I used it 27 times to get from there to the end. Really happy to be done with that. And then I am still working on Birthday Suit. This one, it doesn't look like I've moved from where I marked it. So maybe my mark was inaccurate, or, I mean, I have definitely been using it a lot. In fact, I've now used 42 times since the start of this project. How I have not been able to make more visible progress, I'm very confused, but that's okay. I still think I'll finish it. I'm going to start using this as my nighttime lip balm. I'm also just reapplying it throughout the day. It's like my main lip treatment right now. I'm also trying to finish 2 shades in the ABH Norvina palette. I honestly didn't need to include this in this project pan. You know what? I'm going to take this out of this project pan because it doesn't make sense, actually. It really doesn't. The whole point of this project is to, like, finish up products so I can move the packaging out, and if I were to finish those 2 shades, I'm still not going to be finished with this palette. I want to try to pan most of it, so forget about it. Forget I ever included this. I am making really good progress on base, though. I've hit side pan after already repressing it once. I have used that one 8 times since the start of the project, and Dazzling I've only used once since the start of the project. So I just want to focus on other things and not worry about this right now. Another empty, I did finish up the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, and it took me 22 uses to get from there to the end. I would say overall I got a lot of uses out of this. This is just the mini size of the setting spray. Really enjoyed it, but it's nice to have it finished so I can move it out. The last makeup thing I've been working on since the start is the CoverGirl Exhibitionist 24-Hour Kohl Eyeliner Pencil in black. This, I don't know, I'm not feeling too great about this. Of course, I'm not sure where it'll stop sharpening, but I'm guessing I still have probably till about here to get to the end, so I don't know, I have a long ways to go. That's all I've used up since the beginning. It took me 11 uses to make that amount of progress, so I'm going to have to use it way more if I want to finish it, maybe try using it as an eyeshadow base if I want. So that's where we are on that. That's probably the thing I'm feeling the least good about. That's all the makeup that I started the project with. Like I said, I will be adding a couple more things at the end of the video. But first, let's talk about the skincare I've been working on. By the way, I've only been tracking uses on the makeup items, not the skincare stuff. This is the Face Republic Purity Sun Essence SPF 50+. This is a water-resistant face sunscreen. I probably only have 1 or 2 uses left of this. I've been savoring this for outdoor days, like pool days, or a day we went on a hike, just because it is the only water-resistant face sunscreen I have at the moment. So I'm saving it for those times, but I definitely have no doubt that I'll be done with this very quickly. Nathan's been working on this one, and as you can see, it's basically empty. I think we'll cut it open probably next time. I've used it a few times, but he's the one that's mainly been using this. This is the Sun Killer Perfect Water Essence SPF 50+. That one will definitely be an empty. Something I'm working on, because it is the sunscreen stick I have that will expire the soonest. I actually have a sunscreen stick showdown video coming very soon, but the one I want to finish the fastest is the Goodall Calming Cooling Sun Stick SPF 50, because this one expires August 7th of this year, so the clock is ticking. Only a short time left to finish this. This is where I am now. I definitely think I can finish it by the end of this project. I'm not quite halfway to that orange finish line, but I would say I'm almost halfway. That's pretty good progress. I've just been using this. I really do slather this on when I use it, as I do with any sun stick, but I like to use it to reapply to my face, or like I use it a lot on the backs of my hands when I'm out and about. Keep it in my purse. It's been really nice because it does have a slightly cooling feel to it. So that's going well. I definitely think I can finish that. Next, I've been trying to use this big old tub bottle jar of the Vanicream Moisturizing Cream for Sensitive Skin. I'll be honest, I don't like this at all. I talked about it in the intro, why I don't like it, but suffice it to say, it's just way too thick for me, but I will still use it. I unfortunately have not moved it down that much from where I marked it last time. One of you did share the tip that I could remove the straw from this pump, so I did that, and that's made it a lot easier. It's just not in the way as much. And then I did finish both of these skincare products. These were both gimme products, like I said in the intro, but either way, it's still nice to have them done. The Tower 28 Daily Barrier Recovery Cream. This was really good. I would definitely repurchase this, especially if I could get it on a good sale. I really liked this. Just felt very gentle. My skin barrier felt so intact the entire time I was using this. And I also finished up the Kopari Niacinamide and Caffeine Eye Bright Cream. This, as you can see, like I marked it almost at the end when we started. I think I ended up cutting it open very shortly after that and used up the rest. I thought this was fine, but not something that was a must-have for me. Lately, I've just been using a face cream as an eye cream because it works just as well. This I unfortunately really can't track progress on, but it feels like I'm making good progress on it. This is the Garnier Fructis Volume Hairspray. I've had this for such a long time. It doesn't sound very full to me. I've been using it as much as possible, of course. So yeah, I just really would like to get this big old bottle out of here. So next up for body care, I had a few things that I was working on. Actually, Nathan and I both use this. We are both really loyal to this product now. It's the Tanologist Daily Glow Body Lotion. This is the one in light to medium. And actually, the medium to dark I think is better. I find the light to medium a little bit streaky, whereas I don't have that problem with the medium to dark, and I don't feel like it makes me too dark. Like, it's still a very gradual lotion. We finished this, we really liked it. It's good because both of us, like, we really don't ever go out in the sun, but we've been having some pool days lately, and it's just nice to not be so blindingly pale when you're at the pool. It works so well. We are already onto another tube of this. That one's almost finished. We already repurchased it. At this rate, Nathan's so much bigger than me. One full body application of this for him is probably like the equivalent of 2 for me. So we're just going through it like basically 3 times as fast as we would if I were the only one using it. So at this point, I'm not even going to be including the new one in the project pan because I know we'll finish it. But this one was really quick to finish, even though when I started, it was basically full. This one's almost finished also. I probably have one more full body application left in this, but this is the EOS Shea Better 24-Hour Moisture Body Lotion. Once you get down to like the last 1/4 of the bottle, it does get harder to get it out, but usually I'll kind of scrape it out with this thing, and then at the very end I'll scrape it out with a beauty spatula so I can get pretty much everything out. It ends up not being like the biggest deal. I saw that they started selling at least one scent of this in a squeeze tube. I hope they make that more widespread. But I really like the scent. I love these EOS lotions so much. This is where we started. I am right now, like, I'm not even going to mark it because it's basically just like a little bit coating the bottom and the sides. So that's all that's left of this. That'll definitely be an empty very soon. Also want to finish the Soap & Glory Perfect Zen Calming Bath Milk. I started the project up here and I've used it one time. So that's how much I use in one bath approximately, which tells me I probably need to take 2 or 3 more baths to finish this off. I know it looks like I used a lot, but I don't know. With bubble baths like this, I feel like I do use a lot each time because I want it to really fill up the bath. This, by the way, smells so good. Also trying to finish up this Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Crush 62 body spray. So started the project up here, and I would say we are about halfway down. Both Nathan and I have been using this. Very nice scent for summer, warm, beachy, just so nice. So I've really been enjoying it. I actually was worried I would get tired of this scent, but I have not yet. It's actually grown on me even more. So it's looking good. It's looking like we can finish that. So those are the original 26 products that were in this project. So as if that wasn't enough to try and finish, I've decided to add 7 more things to try and finish by the end of this month. And 4 out of those 7 are actually makeup items. This is the Supergoop Glow Screen with SPF 40. I just have a mini size. I think I got this as a Sephora Point Perk. But as you can see, I'm about halfway down the tube now. I think it'll be really quick for me to finish this. I've been using it as my main sunscreen for the past few days. So it's really nice under makeup. It's just very, very glowy. So it just gets very glowy very quickly if you're wearing this by itself. So that I think will be no problem to knock out. As I said, since I'm so close to finishing that NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop powder, there's another powder I want to add in because this one I'm seeing a huge pan already. This is the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. I definitely think I could finish this by the end of the month. I do wear a lot of powder in the summertime especially, so I'm hoping to have 2 powder empties very soon. There's also a setting spray, another setting spray. I feel like if I focus on one setting spray, I can go through it somewhat steadily. So I looked at all my setting sprays and I wanted to find which one seemed to have the least left in the bottle, regardless of how long I've had it. And this is the one that I decided to throw in. This is the NYX, the Face Glue Setting Spray. Funnily enough, this is actually my newest setting spray, I think. But it's one of the smallest bottles I had. It only comes with 2.03 fluid ounces or 60 milliliters, and I am right about here right now. So I'd obviously have to use this every day, but I think there's potential that I could finish this by the end of the month. We'll see. Maybe I'm crazy. Let me know if you think I'm just like completely delusional on any of these things. All right, a makeup item. This one is another one I may be too ambitious about, but it's the Urban Decay Stay Naked Concealer. I wear the shade 20 CP, and I realized I actually don't have a whole lot left of this. This is about where it's sitting, and that is with the doe foot applicator in there, so it's displacing some of it. So, not a ton left. I feel unsure if I could finish it, but I'm using it every day. And lastly, I just have a couple of miscellaneous products that I want to finish. One is actually another fragrance. Like I said, Nathan and I both wear a lot of my fragrances. This is the Clean Reserve Skin. This smells so incredible to this day. This is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. As you can see, this is just a mini size, and this is all we have left. It is a spray. I much prefer minis with a spray as opposed to a rollerball, but I definitely think between the two of us, we can finish this. I'll be sad to see it go, but I'd rather finish it up, and I can always buy another one, like a full size, in the future. A body sunscreen that I definitely think we can finish is the Hawaiian Tropic Sunscreen Lotion Sheer Touch SPF 50. This is so nice. It actually has a little bit of a shimmer to it, which looks so beautiful in the sun, especially over the self-tan of the Tanologist. We had a pool day yesterday, actually. It was so nice. This works so well. It was very sunny. There was hardly a cloud in the sky. I was reapplying this like once an hour. I will say neither one of us has gotten sunburned at all since using this. And then last but certainly not least, just one more miscellaneous item I would like to finish is the EOS Ultra Derm Hand Cream. This is the Fresh and Cozy scent. This is a really nice hand cream. I've been applying it at night before bed, and I do feel like my hands have been very soft since I started doing that every night. This is where I am right now. I don't think it'll be too hard to finish it. I think once we get to the end, I'll probably try to use it on my body as well. But really enjoying this and figured I might as well get it knocked out. So that is how this pre-cross-country move Project Pan Blitz is going. I just can't wait to see how many of these things I can finish up by the end of this month. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you had fun. If you did, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss future videos, and don't forget to hit the notification bell if you are wanting to make sure you never miss an upload. Otherwise, I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll talk to you very soon in my next video. Bye!